Welcome to INFS 325 Public Relations. In session 11, we are looking at print publications in information centers. You remember in the previous session, we looked at communication with employees. This particular session is very specific. We will list a number of print publications that libraries, archives, and museums use. And these are used in our communication with our publics. So what are some print publications that we have in libraries, archives, and museums? Our publics can be reached through our print, press, radio, and TV. In libraries and archives, we have a whole range of print publications. And these are used to inform, to promote, and to persuade. Examples of our print publications include our annual reports, our bookmarks, our catalogs, our diaries of local events, exhibitions, flyers, guides to the library, house journals, indexes, keep out signs, leaflets, overdue reminders, and many more. We do have a lot of stationery, and that is one important point that you need to pay attention to, the appearance of the stationery. So the design and the production of the stationery can actually promote a positive image of the archives or the library. So make sure that any stationery which emanates from your library is properly designed, it is attractive, it has the information that any public or any patron who uses the library will need, such as the name of the library, the telephone number, the address of the library, and even the librarian's name on it. So our stationery include not only our letterheads, but it includes library tickets, our book labels, our complimentary slips, our overdue messages or notices. These days, they are always sent out electronically because we have the software which generates the overdue messages and sent to our publics either through WhatsApp or other social media means. So we have notices. What are notices? And there are a lot of notices in libraries, archives, and museums. Important thing to note is the wording of your notices and the design of your notices. Avoid too many notices. And basically, the essential things on any notice board should be the opening hours and probably details of new procedures. We also have annual reports, which should feature the factual account of work undertaken by the library, especially in the year under review. And these annual reports are good for our legislators, for Board of Governors, and also good for the community of users and even non-users. You can produce the annual reports in different versions, one full account for legislators and one for the general audience consumption. We also have guides in the library. There are different guides that you produce. The guides are meant to create awareness of our services for users and non-users alike. For instance, we can have guides which provide clear directional signs with large lettering and consistent color scheming. We can have guides such as guide for the use of the catalog or guides for the use of a particular session in the library. And we can have guides which also bring out the name of senior staff and the rest. We have guides which show the plan of the library or the size of the building. Another important guide is a guide for new members of staff, where you would have information about the library, where you have general conditions such as human resource information, how to apply for promotion, if you are sick or leave entitlement, etc., etc. That is also another guide. Then we have house journals, which can use for the libraries. So we have internal house journals or external house journals, and these happen to be newsletters. They carry a lot of information about activities in the library. So we've looked at newsletters which provide relevant information about the library. It can come out periodically, and usually maybe 2 weeks or monthly, and people actually look forward to these newsletters because they carry a lot of information about what has gone on either the previous month or the previous quarter. In libraries, we also have lists, and these are bibliographies. We have different kinds of book lists. For instance, if you're having an exhibition or a display, we provide a list. And these lists are arranged in such a way that they enable the users to find information easily. Now, having talked about the different lists which can be found in libraries and archives and museums, we do have a few barriers to the production of all these print publications. So let's pay attention to a few of these barriers and see how you as a PR officer can be able to overcome these barriers. So costs is one barrier that you need to overcome. As I was discussing desktop publication for employees, we can actually use these facilities in our offices because we have the software which can help us produce a number of these print publications. In that way, we cut down on costs. Then the production itself, the staff involved, they need to be knowledgeable of the reprography, of the copy preparations, and that one. So this involves the training of staff to produce these print publications. Then the design. Whilst producing it, make sure the design is beautiful, the language is acceptable. If it is a publication meant for non-users or external users, avoid jargons, explain in simple words so that everybody will understand your particular publication. Now, the frequency is also a matter that you need to decide. If it is a monthly publication, make sure that it is regular and it comes out at the particular time, because people, once you start them off, they always expect to see it come up at the regular frequency. Now, your distribution. Now, if this is not effective, then your efforts would have been in vain. So make sure you have a mailing list, keep your mailing list up to date, then review the copies sent to suitable newspapers and journals for them to be kept up to date with your publications. So for your activity, I'm going to ask you to write briefly on the following print publications in libraries. Library guides. What are library guides and their uses? What are flyers and their uses in libraries? What are notices and what are annual reports? So with this particular session, we have looked at print publications or some print publications in libraries. I thank you for paying attention.